Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is Laura with Stitch with Laura. How's everybody doing? Hope everybody is having a great day. Well, today is my third part of my review for Biggest Craft Store, and we are going to start this little project. It is a 40 by 50, which makes the whole thing about 35 by 45-ish. So it's not very big. And the color I'm starting with is 3371. And I did kind of wrinkle this down. Now this edge right here is like a salvage edge. So it's not going to fray too much. Hopefully. Oh my goodness. What a day. Yeah, I just felt like starting this one. I didn't know where else to start, but I did say that I was going to start one of these. And I really like this picture. It's very, very pretty. And at least this color doesn't match this symbol, which is so nice because, you know, it seems like every time I start something, I pick the wrong color to start with. And we're going to move you down just a bit because I'll drag it towards me. But, yeah. So I'm very happy about that. And I do have 3 strands because it is an 11 count. So we'll just start with this yellow up here in the corner and go with it. Yeah, I do like Biggest Craft. I've shopped there probably more so than most of the stores that I review, as far as looking for something, you know, that I personally want. But, yeah. If you hear a noise in the background, it's my coffee pot. It's being kind of loud today. Yeah, I made coffee this morning when I got up. Not made it, but, you know, fixed myself a cup of coffee, so to speak. And I added way too much sugar, so I had to dump that out, and I had to make another pot because there wasn't enough left. So, yeah, that's just the way life goes. And I'm glad that they have cross stitch and embroidery there. Because it, goodness gracious, it does, you know, give you choices. But they don't have diamond painting, and that's okay. I like the hand crafts. Oh, well, yeah, like you expected that to work out. It's snagged on my finger. I can't find my silly, what do you call it? Thimble. Oh, it's around. I can't remember if it's on this table or the other table over there. And I think, well, that might be okay. I didn't know if that would fit or not. Because I have one that I just wear all the time. And I know which one it is because it has orange paint on it. Go figure. Yeah, I was probably using it for some artsy-craftsy project when I was doing jelly prints to make some kind of a mark on something in some paint and didn't get all the paint wiped off. Yeah, that's how that goes. But it's only acrylic paint. It's not like it's enamel paint. I never paint with enamel paint. I think that's why I never got into models, because I had to use enamel paint. But it really didn't interest me putting cars together either, so there you go. But I've used oil paints and I've used acrylic paints, but never enamel. But yeah, I like that they have a variety of handicrafts. And it's, in my brain and my way of thinking, it's very important that we continue on the handcrafts in a world that is so fast-paced and everything has to be instantaneous. You need to teach that. And I'm trying to teach my granddaughter. My daughter, well, she's her own person now, say so. Not so much. I mean, she knows how to do it. She just chooses not to do it right now. I'm like, okay, you'll find your own bag sooner or later. Don't we all? Took me a long time to figure that out, that you can, and you can change things. You get tired of doing one thing or whatever and just do something else. So, I've done that a lot myself, so. But it is very important to keep this handiwork thing going. It's been going for thousands of years, and now not a lot of young people do that. I couldn't figure out why there was a mark there. I guess it's from the color number. I was freaking out. I thought there was another symbol there. Wasn't paying attention. I'm talking. And our mothers passed it down to us, so it's up to us to pass it down to them. And I've always felt strongly about that. They should at least know what the concept is. Even if they choose not to do this, they need to know the history and all that. Even in a fast-paced world. And I know I sound a little bit stuffed up. Yeah, and it irritated my throat. I should just throw this thing away. I'll tell you in a minute. Get down, please. Hey, get down. Get down. I have one of those wax melter things. Every time I use it, it irritates. After it's been on for so long, it irritates my throat and my nose. Just stuffs me up completely. But I want the house to smell good, but yeah, it doesn't like me too well. And I've never really been allergic to anything. I can't, what do you call it? Okay, you're just not going to work because you're too big. I can't burn incense for that very reason. It just dries out my throat completely. And I don't have too many scented candles. The candles that I have are about yay big. So they're not very big at all. And I don't burn them, very much. So I don't know if it's the artificial smell. Because I can put, like in the middle of winter, I'll put like some cinnamon and cloves and nutmeg and maybe some orange slices in there, and then put it in a pan of water and cook it, like heat it up on the stove and just let it sit there and simmer. And that doesn't bother me. So it must be the chemical stuff that's in this, what do you call it? Wax melt stuff. And I can't even use the air freshener that you plug into the wall, like the Glade things. Yeah. The things you do to get stuff to smell good. But it is what it is. So I get over it in a couple of days, and hey, today I don't have a headache, so we're doing real well. Real well. And that doesn't give me a headache, or anything. It just stuffs me up. Go figure. So yeah, I should find something else that smells good. Sometimes I'll just get the little ones that sit around, you know, and it's like a jelly thing and you pull the top off, like renews it. Can't think of the name of it. But they don't emulate, is that word right? Emanate? If I can get it out. Oh, I found my other thing of this. Isn't that great? Special as hell. And I'm using my good scissors, my new scissors. They cut very nicely. They are very sharp. We're just going to keep them puppies over there. And they're heavy, so that they're not going to... If you had it on top of something, when you pick it up, they're going to fall right down. And they are... Oh, where'd it go? They're kind of magnetized just a bit. I don't know if the needle's magnetized. I can't get it to pick it up now. Yeah, it's not real strong. But anyway, yeah. But I like to do a little bit of embroidery. And I like embroidery, not crewel. Crewel. Is that right? Or L? Or is it LE? Oh no, it's been a long time since I saw that. The kind of stitching that's done with yarn, I'm not real fond of that at all. And I never really got into needlepoint. I didn't do a whole bunch of it. We had to do some, you know, for school projects, but yeah. So you don't see those much at these kind of stores. You do see the embroidery, but I like to keep that kind of in the back of my brain. So I will get to that other one. I almost finished. There we go. Where did it go? Oh, it's here. The last one that I got, I put it over there so nothing would happen to it, and I put the needle in it so it'll keep it shut. But I have to go back and, you know, do all those flowers. I just was not real happy with the way that those flowers were going. I suppose I could have made them a smaller size of Lazy Daisy stitch, but I kind of tacked them all the way on the outsides. But I would never do that any other way. I mean, do it that way if I was just embroidering something, you know. But I like it. It's just not something I want to do all the time. It's kind of like beaded cross stitch. And I'm glad they have that too. Whoa. Put that back over there or it'll get lost. I just can't stick with it because it takes too terribly long. And I kind of like doing it here at my table. But they have both of those things. I'm just kind of... It's kind of weird that they don't have bigger projects, larger projects in beaded cross stitch. You know, like at AliExpress. Because I'd like to see some of these stores get some bigger projects in beaded cross stitch. And I really like the plastic beads that are way bigger than the seed beads. They're better for young adults, you know, that have, not young adults, but young, and not young children, because I really don't think they can handle that, but, you know, I'm always wrong. Whatever I think they can't handle, that's the first thing they pick up, so, yeah, you know what I mean? But they're easier for people with smaller hands to pick up the bigger beads, or people that have, say, arthritis or whatever in their hands. They're a lot easier to stitch with. And those smaller ones, oh my goodness, they're okay. I mean, I can deal with it if I had to, you know, on a short-term basis, but I would not want to do a great big one made out of that. It just would drive me crazy. I had one. I only bought one beaded cross stitch. It was supposed to be huge, ginormous. It was like 150 long and probably 40 to 50 centimeters wide. And the problem was, I couldn't keep track of where I was at, number one. Number two, the beads were not consistent because it was such a big kit and it really didn't cost a whole lot of money. So you know that the quality of the beads were crap, shall we say? Yeah, but they need to get it together. Now, those ones that I did on that satin material, they were very nice beads. I just didn't like working on the satin stuff. You know, I've got 3 or 4 of those, and it's just weird. It's hard to hold in your hand. So I like putting the beads on an 8 of fabric. So if they could just get some bigger beads and a bigger project, you know, maybe even like 8 by 10, 11 by 14 size would be really good. And I've only found them at AliExpress, at that Matrishka Lovely store. So I really like them. They're easy to work with. It goes fast. You cover a greater amount of ground, shall we say, with them than the small ones. But those small ones are very hard to keep track of and to pick up. It's just bizarre. Just bizarre. So if they could work on that, all the stores, getting more beaded cross stitch in, that would be awesome. I mean, what they have is fine, but yeah, some days you just kind of want to do something a little bit bigger than a keychain or a bookmark or just a little tiny picture. So and I like that they have crafts in cross stitch and, you know, like the little banners, and sometimes they have, I don't know if they have them year round, so they used to have the Christmas stockings, and they have the pillows. I'm not real fond of those pillows, man, because you know I'll take it apart in a heartbeat, whether it ever gets put into a pillow. But yeah, and it's a shame. I cannot sew with my hands inside of a pillowcase trying to cross stitch. It doesn't make sense. It's not worth the time or the money, because I'll have to take it apart. So yeah, I don't know. That should have been thought through a little bit better. Like, leave it all unassembled-ish. Then if you want to make it into a pillowcase, you're good. Because, yeah, that was a nightmare. But they also have crafts for embroidery. They have like brooches, and they have, I want to get a couple of those little, I'm assuming it's no bigger than this, if it's that big. But they have embroidered coin purses, if you will. So I thought that might be kind of different. They had brooches. I don't think they had earrings or anything like that. Maybe a pin, like you would put a pin on clothing. I haven't seen many people wearing pins or brooches, if you will, on their clothing these days. I don't know, I think it's kind of a thing of the past. But you could make them up and you could put them on a pillow or something like that. But I don't think people wear those things like that. That went out in about the 80s. It was about the end of it, it seems like. Because, I mean, I know my mother and my grandmother both wore a pin, you know, like if they went to church or something, or they had to go to some kind of a function or a luncheon or, something like that. They always had some kind of a pin on their lapel or the front of their shirt or whatever. They don't do that anymore. Lots of things on the waist. That is such a pretty color. I love that 3371. Oh my goodness. And I like that they have a clearance section. They give you a chance to pick up some stuff that maybe you've been looking at forever. And it's finally on sale, but up to 55%. Oh yeah, I'm on that bandwagon, if you will. And I don't know if it's all smalls or if some of them are big. I don't know if they're like discontinuing that particular pattern. But yeah, they always have that clearance section. And free shipping over 50 bucks. Oh yeah, I can do that too. And the more you buy, the more of a percent you get off. So that's pretty cool. Or you might get like $2 or $3 off, of a certain amount. So that's kind of nice. So they're always looking for ways to save you money, so it doesn't cost you a fortune to get a kit and to stitch. So they enable me all the time. But I do love that store. Well, at least I'm not smacking the needle into my finger today. That was all I could do yesterday. I must have sewed. You know how you stitch for too long and your hand just gets tired, and so you keep hitting, if you have like a thing on your finger or whatever. Yeah, that's the first part that I hit. So who knows? Molly's being quiet. I don't know why Molly's being quiet. She's over there. I told her to get down and she got down. I got mad at her this morning. I left her out. Not left. I let her out this morning. 7:30 this morning, and she has to go out there and bark at the fence. So there must have been a dog out there somewhere that she was barking at, or a cat, because we have cats that kind of roam around. They're not, I think, they actually belong to people, actually. But, yeah. And they kind of mosey here and there. And then I saw that, I don't know, it was a groundhog or ground squirrel. It wasn't a chipmunk. It was too big for a chipmunk. But he came out, flying out from underneath my steps, going towards, say, where the road is in the mobile home park. I mean, it's not a busy road, don't get me wrong. It's like the road that separates me from the guy across the way. So it's still in the park. I think this is going to stitch up quite nice. There's some, what do you call it? Confetti in this. But that didn't surprise me and doesn't deter me. I just work with this color until I run out of this thread. That's the way I do it. People say, well, how do you do confetti? I don't do it any different than if I'm just stitching away. I take one thread out, divide it into 3 strands, and cut it in half, because I can't stand a really long thread, if you will, because it always gets tangled up and causes me more trouble, shall we say, oh, for pity's sake, than not, I cut it in half. I just cut it in half and then divide it into 3 strands for each piece and stitch on that color, and then I'll go get another color and do the same thing. Now, if I've got all this stitched, then and there's like 2 that I have to do, I will cut off a piece long enough to thread, put an end in it, and stitch those 2. But other than that, I get out a full thing of thread. I always feel better if I stitch. Stitching has that methodical thing to it. Not methodical, that's not the word. It's repetitious, but it's, I don't know, for me it's healing. My blood pressure goes completely down and I can relax and just stitch away. And that's what I love about these pre-stamped things. All your decisions are made for you. Yeah, granted, I every once in a while would like to, I work on my counted cross stitch, but that's only when I feel the need that I have to count. Some days I guess I'm more analytical. Maybe that's not the word either. I can't find the right word, but you know what I mean. You know, you feel like doing that kind of detail work, and others just give me the answers, because yeah. Because some days all I want to do is stitch, and I will sit there for 3 hours and just stitch, 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 stitch. It's, I don't know, it's kind of bizarre, but that's the way I've been lately. So this thread lays down really nice. I love the thread in these things. Now, I have run into some thread that was not real good, but very rarely do I. The threads seem to be just fine in these kits, so it's like stitch away. All right. Well, we're getting that corner done. I always seem to start in the right-hand corner for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe because I'm right-handed. No, that wouldn't make sense, but it works for me. Very rarely do I start at the bottom. It just depends what it is. And this one's kind of long and skinny, so I'll probably go across this way or wherever that yellow is and get that yellow done. Let me put this on here because, you know, I can't lay it down. Gotta put it somewhere. And I can't. All I have are these. Is this. And it's just way too big. It's kind of heavy. I know it's supposed to be a refrigerator magnet, but work with me here. I use it mostly on diamond painting because I like how it lays down I'm trying not to let it move. It lays down the paper. My paper is usually about this wide, and it's great. So that's what I use that for. And I use one of my clips. Alright, guys. Well, thank you, Biggest Craft, for... Whoa. Rolly chair. Thank you, Biggest Craft, for sending me all these beautiful, beautiful products to show to you. And thank you for joining me today. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. And please hit the bell. That way you'll know when my next video comes out. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you next time. God bless. Bye-bye.